Hello there, fellow summoners. Mad Dog HT here again, and we're bringing you some footage from the Cavalier bosses. This is in chapter 1.1, the very first boss, King Groot. And on this first one, I was like, I'll try something else. It's got Rich Get Richer, which means he's going to be gaining power when he has more buffs than you. It's got Feats of Vigilance, which he'll get that Vigilance buff. That will help the Rich Get Richer node when he reaches 2 bars of power. So ideally you don't want to let him get to 2 bars. Missing in action, when a buff expires, if you don't knock him down in time, you can get falter like that. And so I went in with Luke Cage thinking, Luke Cage should be able to take this fight, right? It shouldn't be too hard. It's just King Groot. First, my gameplay, as you can already see, has been pretty terrible. I think I was pretty distracted when I was doing this, but I don't ever get L3'd, but I was thinking I would be able to. I do have the Mr. Fantastic synergy. You can see that I'm getting those power stings when I get the exhaustions off. I know that when you have the exhaustions on, it mitigates the opponent's power gain, so that should mitigate the Rich Get Richer. But the only buffs that Luke Cage is going to get is the crit from the dex, and then if you get hit, the indestructible, and that's going to kind of turn off the Rich Get Richer node when he has a Fury or a regen up. I was just thinking, I'm on the science path where you have to have debuffs, so I had Luke Cage. Let's try this guy out, and this has been. I'm into this fight for 2 minutes now or so, and I've only done 15%-ish of his health. It's not going well. This is definitely not a great option. I thought that he could do better than what this is. I mean, granted, mine's only a rank 4, but anyways, this is not the best option. But I like to try stuff out, and I will end up dying here. Got the indestructible that saved my butt right there. Haven't really been playing around that falter pretty much at all, and yeah, if I were to do this again, I would have hopefully played better, but definitely, like see right there, I had falter on this and totally got whacked. But I don't know if I'll ever do it again. I definitely make sure he doesn't get to 2 bars of power to get that extra vigilance buff. I don't know. If I were to do it again, I probably wouldn't have brought in Luke Cage. Just not what I thought he could turn out to be. And so I have Voyant on the team, and Voyant is a really solid option for this. And again, I do have that Mr. Fantastic synergy. It just helps the science line where you can only do damage when you have the 3 debuffs on the opponent. And because you're having to debuff a lot, Mr. Fantastic with it's like Sentry, She-Hulk, Doc Ock, and somebody else that's tech. I can't think off the top of my head that I haven't really used. I usually use Doc Ock or Sentry or She-Hulk. But you get those power stings, and they add up and they make the fights go a lot faster. And so we're getting a little bit extra damage there. Again, I wasn't really paying too much attention to making sure that I didn't get faltered. But he's going down. This is going much better. Void reverses the regen. Some of his IP debuffs get eaten up by those Furies, but not a big deal. And then just getting that extra power sting on his specials from the Mr. Fantastic synergy just makes this go faster. Let me see if we can figure out how much damage he does on a special. That was like 5k damage on that special activation with the 3 stings. Three stings is the max you can get. And then just be careful with that falter. Basically try to knock him down when you get a buff expire. I think that's I think that's what happens. And I'm trying to think, is it on him or is it on us? I think it's on him. So basically every time the Furies go away or the regen goes away or potentially the Vigilance, you basically need to get him knocked down in time. And then if you do, you put Falter on him instead of getting it on you. But yeah, Void does really well for this fight. Don't use Luke Cage. I mean, that's pretty much my suggestion. After trying to test it out, I thought he could work, and he can work. It's just going to be a long slugfest. And maybe if you're like that sting damage was like 6,000, so maybe if your Luke Cage is rank 5 or whatever, it'd be even easier. But we get him down, and yeah, so we died to the first attempt on the very easiest Cavalier boss. I'm not sure when that's happened. I usually don't die too much, but I'll tell you what, I've just been trying a few different things and some of these earlier on ones, and I've died a few times. So here we're gonna go in with Claire, and Claire does a really good job because she can put on buff immunity and basically eat up his Furies and his regen and prevent them. And unfortunately, when you like parry and you consume his Furies, that doesn't trigger Mystic Dispersion. Not the biggest deal. It's just nice to get the extra Mystic Dispersion. And like buff immunity, he's going to turn off all of his buffs. And we're in poison mode right now. I'm trying to think I think I'm going to switch over to incinerate mode, Hellfire, and burn them. Yeah, just because you get a lot of extra damage. And then I think I plan on switching back to bleed. Probably should have thrown another L2 there. But I'm just trying to like go through the cycle where I power drain them, and then I think I go back and switch to Hellfire, burn them, and then kind of keep cycling. I'm not sure if I do any L3s. Probably should have thrown an L3 simply because I could unload all those charges that I have. I got 14. If I were to do some parry heavies here, I could gain a lot more and get some power and get up to L3 and get off a big L3, because the L3s with 20 charges, it's like around 35k damage for my Claire. There, I tried to spam an extra heavy and he punished me for it. But yeah, let's see how much damage we do on this. I think with my masteries it's around 35k. Might be a little bit more on a cosmic. Let's see. That one was almost 37k. So, and then I try to go in right after and I get smacked. Not the biggest deal. So we're gonna do a bunch of heavies right here, get a bunch of power gain, and then we're gonna, I think, heal up on an L2. We got death touch up, so I get extra regen pretty much back to full. That just shows, like, man, you get when you do that extra damage. Here we're spamming the heavies, and you got death touch up. The regen's great. The Hellfire, incinerate energy damage is great. I've never been too impressed with the power gain mode being in poison, but if you had some like prowess and stuff, it'd be pretty strong. But otherwise, it's kind of weak. I try to not do too many L2s or whatever in the poison phase, just because unless you got like extra attack, prowess, something going on, pretty much the amount that you drain is around the amount that you give. So maybe a little bit more. But yeah, there we go. Groot goes down. And then for this last one, oh look, we got a war match found. War's been going pretty good this season. It's been pretty fun. We've been seeing it in my war videos that I've been posting recently. And yeah, so the last one, we're gonna go with Man Thing. And, you know, I don't think Man-Thing is like anything like particularly great for this matchup, simply because you're going to be giving him buffs with the Pustules, which is going to help him get richer. I can get a crit, I can get the Fury or the regen off of my specials, but my whole plan is to do a lot of specials and then just pop those Pustules and turn them into poisons and armor breaks, and preferably try to do those when the Furies are off. You see him, I tried to heavy that one. He's gaining power, or he was gaining power. He's shrugging them off, but here we go. So now we're in the regen. We hit him with a heavy, and the poisons, they do pretty good damage. And yeah, this is pretty much my whole plan. And you know, I play pretty sloppy, but Man-Thing, you know, he's good enough. He's nothing spectacular. I mean, Doom should work pretty well, especially if he had like Surfer synergy on the team to get the extra buffs when you do a special. I actually think Surfer would be a really good option for this fight because of all his buffs. I don't know. When I saw this, I was just like, I'm just gonna try a few people. So I don't know. Let me know who you guys used. I'd be interested in like how well they were able to either cheese it or not be successful at this. I think if you don't get any buffs and you kind of go crazy on this dude, he could probably get to an L3 pretty fast. And here I'm just playing just garbage. I got hit when the falter was up, and then I just walk into a combo. Yeah, but I don't know. I like playing with Man-Thing. He's a fun champ. You can really spam a lot of his specials pretty quick with Mystic Dispersion. I have Mystic Dispersion 3 out of 5, and I can't even imagine like what kind of power he would get if he was higher. Just because when you start nullifying all those Pustules and turning them into armor breaks and poisons, yeah, it really drives his power game pretty good. Yeah, but I like him. He's fun. He's fun to use. But we almost got this King Groot down. Again, not the best counter. I'm trying to think of other mystics. Symbiote Supreme would be a good option to use. He'd just eat up a lot of the buffs that King Groot gets. Can't poison him, or not poison, can't bleed him though. I don't know. Let me know who you guys used, and if there was anybody that was in particular. I mean, I don't think you need anybody like crazy. King Groot is definitely not the hardest to fight, but I just kind of randomly threw some guys together, and this is kind of what I put up. Yeah, King Groot goes down. Didn't have much health left on Man-Thing because I just played sloppy, but we get him down. There's all my 3 runs on Cavalier. Thanks for watching, fellas, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.